Welcome to Starseed Living, where we really bridge your spirituality and see that reflected in all aspects of your life. This is Alice Aurora. I'm a spiritual psychologist, and I'm bringing you today content that is a surprise to me. I'm working in the sense that I'm totally intuitive. I don't prepare any of these videos I'm doing here on YouTube. I no longer do so. And why I don't? First of all, there's beautiful information that then comes through because it's really my higher wisdom or channeled extraterrestrials or anything else. As Bashar says, follow your excitement as long as you can until you no longer feel excited and it's complete. So what excited me more is when I don't prepare at all. I go in blanco, and the moment I started doing that, so much more happened. Oops. Wow. All right, I'm getting a warning from the government. It's interesting. Let me record this. It's an emergency alert. And the government is warning us, I'm translating from Dutch, that there's an emergency situation in the Netherlands at the moment. The alarms are going off now in the country. And look here, the crisis information. Wow. The Netherlands government. No action required. All right. So if I don't need to do any actions, I presume I can keep on doing this. Wow. Just going to pause this for a second. I'm going to see what it is. I'm getting back to you. All right. No alarm. It was a test. All right, all good. Interesting what happened when that came in. What happened in me was a little excitement and a bit more curiosity what it would be, and a little dash of worry. Let me tune back in. So I think that's going to be the topic of today, right? How to deal in emergency situations. It's so in this video right now. So the question to you is then, are you sturdy? Are you standing strong? Are you that sturdy pillar of light that needs to be here at this moment in time, especially as a starseed? You are here to be that pillar of light in the sense that you're sturdy, that you're grounded, you're standing tall, that you know why you're here, and that you're ready to embrace whatever comes to you, for you, to you. Whatever is around you is irrelevant in the sense that you are your pillar of light. And you are here, part of this ascension, coming here to support it. You can't be moving around with any wind that is coming, any storm that is coming, and we're talking bigger, but let's bring it back to your life. Any storm, anything that people say, any energy that is around you, any disregarding you that might happen, whatever it is. You can call that all small little storms around you. Are you standing tall in that one as a pillar of light? Because that's where it starts. If you can do that in silence with yourself first, and then do that with the people you're surrounded with, might be with the ones you love, but also those others. Everyone. Can you do that with everyone? Standing tall, and then whatever is happening in the world. So you might say, but Alice, no, none of that. Okay. And you might also say you're someone else that's like, yeah, I am. Great. Because that's where eventually you want to be. Better sooner than later. All right. So we're getting some transmission here of how to step more into that, how to be more of that. And first of all, it's the intention. It's not the focus on, I'm not that, I can't be that. I'm always influenced. I don't know who I am. I'm sorry. I am floating away. I'm not that. And I feel miserable not being that, not stepping into my mission, not fulfilling the duty that I came here to fulfill. If you focus on all that you're not, then more of what you're not will present itself. So we ask you, and we are here with many, confirmation, we ask of you to no longer focus on what is not, and focus on where you want to be. So if you're near surrounding the people around you, if you want to be and stay in your pillar, no matter what is then going to be your intention? That I am, whatever words you use, we're just telling you something. I am that pillar of light, that grounded, sturdy pillar of light. Regardless of what's happening inside of me, my own thoughts, my emotions, my experiences, regardless of what is happening outside of me, the people I surrounded with, the interactions that I have, or the things that I see on the news, or hear about, or read about, or see in my surrounding. I am that. I am my pillar of light, regardless of anything. I'm always that pillar of love and light, regardless of anything happening internally or externally. That's a good intention to start with, right? Coming up. So what if I'm not feeling that in this moment? What if I'm really impacted by, like there was just that message of a emergency situation. The noise was loud. I could not ignore it. So what do I do with that? I can go in fear, and I can, and right? You can go and create all scenarios. Basically, that's what it is. At the moment you hear that message, I just didn't read well. It was a test message that came later. So I thought there was a warning really happening in this moment in time. Now I can dive into creating scenarios, disaster scenarios, right? They did pop in my head. What could go wrong? But I didn't pay too much attention to it. But that's often where the fear comes in. That's where the worry comes in. Because we create doof, 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 doof. In no time we have a story. Become aware that you are creating a story. Now in this case, I didn't have the full picture yet. But it's a great, wonderful example. How would we then create stories so quickly? And then the fear kicks in because we kind of believe that those stories are true. And the more fear we have, because our mind thinks there's fear only when there's a reason to be fearful. So probably what I just thought as a story, as an imagining, I validate that by my physical experience of fear, and I create even more the story. So it emphasizes the story. It creates more credibility, and I can just fly away with that story and go in panic. Or, and there's thousands of scenarios, I'm just coloring 2 here for you. Or there's a little bit of that story what just happened with me, and I saw it, but I dismissed it, or I didn't pay too much attention to it. So I didn't put too much energy in it. Because at the same time I was kind of excited. Something is really happening. Are we really going to experience an emergency? And how are we going to stand tall in that? I was curious for myself. How am I actually able to be my pillar of loving light? How am I able to be really in that connection and in alignment with my higher self if the shit hits the fan, so to speak? I'm curious about that. That excites me. And I've been in emergency situations, in war zones, so I have a little bit of experience of that. I have not been shot at, but there was shooting. I have not been in danger myself, but there were people in danger nearby. So yes, I have felt the the enormous adrenaline that goes, adrenaline that goes through my veins, and it's the excitement. Now, I'm built like that. We might all be different. Let's get to the facts here. So where are you going to focus on? For me, I know there was an excitement of, wow, this is going to wake up so many people. It's going to be hard. This is going to wake up so much people. So there's excitement for that. There is joy of that. And there is a bit of that. And that can all, a bit of the fear and the stories, it can all coexist. This is as much a story than this is. But I prefer to put my focus on that. So what story do you want to create? And these are stories. These are possible scenarios. This is timelines of possibilities, right? Nothing is set in stone. So which timeline do you want to ride on? Choose and pick. Really. But you can say, that what if there is a real danger? Well, I live in Amsterdam, and the part I am in half of the country is under sea level. So if there is a tsunami, very likely half of the country is underwater, if not more, right? We have dikes and everything, but a tsunami is not going to hold, for sure not. So this will be underwater. So what's that going to bring? You know, I'm just curious how that will unfold. And may I die while I'm the ground floor. May I die in the process. If that is what is fated, then that is what it is. Then I have done my job. It's done and over with. That's great. So if I can accept, and I'm not saying all this to be above anything or to be greater. Of course I'm going to panic. Of course I'm going to be fearful if that really happens. I'm human. But I'm just giving you a new outlook or a different outlook or a grounding in more of the outlook you already had wherever you are of how you can approach it, right? So where are you going to put your energy to? Is it excitement? Is it curiosity? Is it excitement about the awakening, or how will you stand in disaster, or is it the fear, or all the colors in between? What you put your energy in is what you see more projected outside yourself. So if you're going in fear, you're going to be fearful, you meet all these people that are fearful, it's one big fearful experience. If I'm going to be in my excitement, I will be fascinated, and it sounds so weird to say that, by other people's suffering. I mean, my job, my whole life is, I'm a psychologist. I worked in refugee camps. I worked in places where people were highly traumatized, and I've always had an immense fascination about how people survive and their stamina to go through all the kind of miseries to get to the refugee camp or wherever I was to meet them. To get there and to overcome that. It's amazing the power that is within a human. I'm absolutely inspired by that. So we could say, but the refugee camps, all that misery, could you sleep afterwards? Yes, I'm excited about the resilience of people, and about people are handling that. And you will see there is so much, if there is a crisis in a city, there's going to be looting and violence and all of that. And there's going to be an enormous resistance and support to each other. And all of that is there. So where can I focus on? I like to see the resistance. No, I like to see how resistant people are, how strong they are, how the support to each other is there. And yes, some people are devastated, and that's probably what they wanted to experience in this lifetime. So where do you want to focus on? Everyone is walking their path, and whatever they experience, brilliant and beautiful. But you will see, the more you focus on inspired people and them seeing joy in the little glimpses of joy in the misery, because you can really appreciate fresh water when there is none. You can really appreciate a loaf of bread when you're hungry. And now, I'm not talking we need to experience something like that so then you can appreciate. No. We're talking about if there is disaster, where will you focus your energy on? And if there is fear within, just allow that to be there. It's okay. But then just notice, do I want to create more of it? Do I want to choose more of it? And notice which stories are going with that. There's always a thought, there's always a story that creates the fear. And there is sometimes fear in the moment that there's a tsunami coming at you. You're human. That's okay. Experience that emotion. You will not think about it. It's just happening, I know. But the prolonged version of fear, you have a choice at a certain point when you become aware, okay, I'm lingering in it. I'm putting a lot of energy there. You can see so much difference if you're curious about other stories. I think the message is clear, isn't it? So it's not from your mind to choose the story, although it can be if that's the part that functions best for you and you find it really difficult to come from within. But if you can, make it from within. What is your natural way to go about that? Natural. Is it creating more fear? I don't think so. But feel for yourself. If that is what it is, just become aware and see if that's why you want to generate more energy towards. What is innately what's happened? Like, I'm a very curious person, and that's how I developed quite fast. Because of my curiosity and wanting to understand things and wanting to, if that is possible, then that is possible, and then that as well. Curiosity. That is innately in me. What is it that is innately in you? And I can feed more of that in a way to put more energy on that. So in moments of disaster, I want to pull that more out. And that will happen at the same time as fear kicks in. But then I have a choice. Do I feed that more, or am I feeding more on my curiosity? Just feel what is innately, what kind of innate personality traits do you have that you can feed off, that you can create more of, that you grow larger, so that when the shit hits the fan, that muscle is more trained, let's say. Be safe, create safety for yourself just by the energy you're putting into it. Much, much love, and I'm looking forward to see you next time. And if this is a video you like, great to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. Much love, much love.